So it is important to formulate the mathematical model to predict the entire range of data or results, to predict the entire range of data or results Next line, find the optimum result. Find the optimum results for highest conversion comma low cost comma low pumping power comma minimum number of booster pumps, minimum number of booster pumps, comma optimum pipeline diameter, optimum pipeline diameter, comma material of construction, comma operating conditions for distillation, operating conditions for distillation, comma extractor, comma absorber, comma drying, comma mixing, comma velocity distribution, comma temperature distribution, and concentration profile. You can add this also optimum cost also. So I hope we have added the somewhere optimum cost or not. So these are the some of them actually. These are not only the limiting and final one. You can add anything actually. So whatever you want to the study, you can formulate the model for that. Now the next line, modeling steps, is how to start the modeling part. So previous one was just a purpose, why do we need it? Then we have modeling steps. The first point is physically understand the process. Physically understand the process. Next point, draw the process flow diagram. Ashwini Kumar, you looks like a very hi-fi professor. Your room is full, just like a library. You have very nicely maintained room.
No, sir. Actually, I'm living in Fiji, apart from home.
Okay, but whatever it is, it's good one actually. So
Thank you,
draw
sir.
the process flow diagram, comma layout, etc. So draw the process flow diagram and layout means first you understand the problem, what problem is given to you, just like in your maybe in your major projects or maybe a minor project or maybe any project. First you understand what the project is, think it as much as possible, and whatever you are thinking always have a tendency to draw its layout or figure. How does the things look like actually? What might be happening in that? So draw always a picture, because it's not always convenient to read a 5 to 10 page every time, because that will again take your time, and again you cannot think same thing again and again. Whatever you might have thought maybe 2 hours back, if you are thinking now, your means perception, your output would also change. So whatever you are, whenever you want to read a thing, it's always better to draw whatever possible diagram, your layout, and try to label each and everything, all possible things in simplified way. Don't make this complicated figure, because so if a person will look in the first instant or maybe the yourself, you would become give up actually. If you will write too much on a particular figure, you would yourself would become confused what to do here. So make the simplified one. Just if you are focusing on concentration profile, make a figure for only for concentration. Label the concentration only, that's all. If you want to do just a force balance, just keep the force component only. Force and velocity, because these are the two components which will give you the force, velocity and pressure. If you are putting concentration and all this temperature, those will create the problems to you, the confusion actually. If you are focusing only energy balance, so in that case you just put your kinetic energy term, your thermal energy, your enthalpy, your internal energy part. So therefore always draw a process diagram and the layout. Once you did this part, then third part is that apply fundamental law of mass conservation, comma, Newton's second law, in bracket you can write momentum conservation, comma, energy conservation, comma, laws of thermodynamics, So in thermodynamics laws, you have 3 laws that practically you can use first law of the thermodynamics, second law of the thermodynamics, and third law. Then you have fourth law also. So these are 4 and then you can use something for chemical equilibrium. Actually, that's the law also one thing. Then maybe depending on need, actually what you need. So if you want to develop some kinetics part, so obviously these law will come there, especially the chemical potential. If you want to balance between phases and all this, then you have phase laws things. So depending on need, you have to choose which law you want to apply. But mass conservation, energy conservation, momentum, these are quite common, would be applied everywhere without any doubt. Now, once you apply all these laws, you will end up with some equation now, right? So the fourth point is that you will get following type of mathematical model. You will get following type of mathematical model. The first one, nonlinear equation, because we are talking about nonlinear one because this is quite common because all engineering works on nonlinearity actually. Forcefully we make it the linear just to ease of simplification part. So nonlinear equations, then you have a system of nonlinear equations. Nonlinear equation. After that, a system of nonlinear equation. Then third one here, linear algebraic equation. Linear algebraic equation. Then fourth one is system of linear algebraic equations. After that, you have linear ordinary differential equations. Linear ordinary differential equations. Then you have system of linear ordinary differential equations. System means you are saying them a couple, more than one actually. After that, you have nonlinear ordinary differential equations. Nonlinear ordinary differential equations. Next one is system of nonlinear ordinary differential equations. Then you have system of coupled ordinary differential equations. Coupled means they cannot solve individually. They need to resolve the simultaneous bit together. The solution of one would be used in two. So system of coupled ordinary differential equation. Next you have the system of coupled nonlinear ordinary differential equation. System of coupled nonlinear ordinary differential equations. Then you will have partial differential equations in bracket linear and nonlinear both. Partial differential equations. In bracket you will have linear and nonlinear both. Then you have a system of coupled partial differential equations. Coupled partial differential equations. Linear and nonlinear. So these are the possible type of the equations you may end up. Maybe you may get all of them present in a particular model, or maybe you will get only one of them, or maybe two of them, depending on what type of the system and complications you have actually. Once you have this, only equations would not help you actually. So to solve the equations, you need the something. So you need your boundary conditions, right? Correct. So the next point, the fifth point is specify the boundary conditions. Specify the boundary conditions. So in boundary conditions, you have generally you can have three categories there. You can have initial boundary conditions. Then you can have final boundary conditions. Then you can have initial and final boundary conditions. So in these conditions, we just wrote that whether you can have initial boundary condition, you can have final boundary conditions, you can have initial and final both. Here we are not mentioning whether you need, the function value or the derivative, but the things may be initial, maybe final, maybe both of them. You may know the function value, you may know the derivative. Sometimes you may know the combinations of them, sometimes you know the both of them actually. So it depends actually. Just like you want to solve a heat transfer problem in a furnace where you are burning the fuel inside a furnace, and outside of that you have the insulation, and then you have completely insulating. So let's say somebody don't know that what is happening inside. He himself doesn't know the what technique need to be used just to put the temperature inside the furnace, or just to measure the temperature inside the furnace, but he can easily measure the temperature outside the reactor or furnace, because that time the temperature is low. You can put maybe a thermocouple or maybe a thermometer outside, so you know the temperature at the outside. At the same time, you know the convective heat transfer of the air, you know the surrounding heat air temperature also. So you know that outside boundary condition, means practically a final boundary, you know at that particular point. You know the what material of construction is being used by you. So you know that your material of construction is property, your conductivity, emissivity and all this. And you know the final boundary. So you know they are only found a final boundary, and you want to simulate it, solve it, so that you would come to know what is happening inside the furnace, what is my temperature there actually. So that's one example. Initial case also most of the time, just like let's say heating press or ironing of the cloth. So you know how much voltage you are putting, how much current you are putting, you know the area of base, you know the thermal conductivity of the material. So you know how much flux you are providing that particular iron actually. Based on that, you can calculate what is my base plate the temperature in order to just optimize your controller knob actually. So this is one of the example of the initial conditions, or in case of the reactor, actually in your CRE, your batch reactor, everything. In the beginning, you know what you are charging actually. So you know the initial condition at T equal to 0. After that, once you turn on the reactor and then you want to measure its final one. So after a particular time, you will know the final one also. Maybe steady state condition, maybe unsteady state one also. But initial you always know, because you know what you are charging, right? So and sometimes you know the both of them actually. Now once you know all of them, you know that you have the equations with you, you have your boundary conditions with you. Now it is the role of you or a engineer, what technique do I need to solve? Because based on the mathematics, you could have several techniques to solve one particular problem. Some could be easy, some may need very complicated mathematics. Both will give you the complete solution, maybe a easy solution. Some may be very accurate, some may have slightly variation, just like the numerical techniques. They always would be close to the analytical one, but they are not 100% analytical one. So there could be a variation of maybe 1%, maybe 2%, maybe 10%. So in actually the engineering calculations, plus minus 10% calculations are always good actually, because you can solve, save in that way your lot of computational time, your energy and all this. If you will just focus on analytical one, you need very high-fi mathematics, so much complications, and if something went wrong, you will end up with the wrong solution also. So that will save your time drastically. So at the time, once you are designing a modeling simulation team, in the beginning part, they don't use a tedious calculation, just use the faster calculation, quick calculation, because people want the response, what will happen actually. Once the things looks feasible, then only you will do for deeper calculation part. If you will do in the beginning, let's say for a particular project, or you people are doing, your guide has asked, just give the rough idea of the project. और आप rough idea के लिए you are just doing so much extensive calculation, you took the months, and finally at the end of the month we came to know, oh, this is not feasible, this is of no use. So that all calculation went waste. So so in that case, selection of the right technique is also most important part. So the next point is choose the solution technique. Choose the solution technique. In this, first one we know analytical method. Analytical methods. Put a hyphen sign, always accurate answer. Always accurate answer. But very time consuming. And require strong mathematical foundation. Now the next technique is a numerical method. Put a hyphen sign here. It gives approximate answer. It gives approximate answer. In bracket, you can say nearly accurate. Easy to apply, comma, easy to apply. And faster response. Okay, so you know that the numerical means analytical technique, you have to solve everything. You have the numerical techniques also to solve the same problem. You have several techniques. Now, we are the mentioning here the numerical techniques give approximate answer, but based on your study or your expertise or the knowledge, you have to choose that which techniques should I use it so that my answer should be nearly correct to the accurate one, because some of the numerical techniques are very easy, but their errors means associated with them is very much high. So you should not use such type of technique. At the same time, some techniques are very easy to use, but they need very large iterative calculations. So you have the ease of calculation at one of the end, but at the another end you have a lot of computational time. However, computer will do the calculations or you will do it by hand. Just like if you are finding a root of nonlinear equations, the best one is the means always you can use a bisection one. Just the bracket the root into two parts, keep on doing iteration. But it's highly guess dependent part, and depending on the bracketing part, how much close your bracket are close to the root, your computational time will go up in that particular the ratio only. So that is also the wastage of the resources of energy and time. So you would not say it's being done by computer, so I don't care. So it's not that way actually. So because time, people say the time is also the most precious part, and it need to be used the properly. So in that case, you have to choose a right technique to use it. Just like the integration part, people can do the Simpsons 1/3 and then 3/8, then trapezoidal rule, that you have some more good techniques, just like a Gauss quadrature one and all this. So if you use 1/3, you will have always some errors. You will use the trapezoidal, your error would be much more, right? So based on your expertise, you have to choose which techniques could be used, which will give my answer nearly to the analytical one, right? So this is what is need to be done in completely in a modeling simulation part. So here you have chosen a solution technique. Now you would solve it. Now once you have the solve it, because you know the boundary condition here, so you are validating your answers, so you are fine actually. At least the solution is matching at the boundary. What is happening in between, there are no validation for that part. Just like that, you have two ends. आपने boundary लिया, you have solved the equation, you have solved the model, your solution is satisfying your the solution at the boundaries. What is happening in between of the boundary, you don't know. Correct? So based on only validation of the boundary, you cannot say that your model is 100% correct. Just like people, let's say one student is entering to the means the NITJ gate, his behavior or her behavior is very good. Descent at the gate by the time he enters or leaves, but you don't know what is happening in between of the inside the campus. So same thing could happen with the model also. Your behavior, your things are validated at the boundaries, but you don't know what is happening inside the entire the reactor or length or pipeline. So your model solution always need to be validated with some experimental data. If a model is not at all validated with the experimental data, that model doesn't have any good validity actually or good application also. So nobody will try to buy that type of the model actually, or you yourself would not be that much sure that what is happening here. So always model need a experimental validation part. Perform a practical, the easiest possible condition. Don't make it complicating the experiment, because that also will add up your further cost. Easiest possible thing, मान लो बैच रिएक्टर है, आप छोटा सा बीकर ले लीजिए, just make the stir and all this, just do that. और उसी में आप बहुत हाई फाई कॉम्प्लिकेशन के पीछे रहे, जस्ट थर्मोकपल भी लगाना है, पीएच भी लेना है, ये लेना, so you will end up with a lot of complication and cost. So your simple experimental data, you need it first for primary just to validate it. If things works well, then you will go to the higher level precision actually. So those are the steps just to formulate the model and validate the model. Once it is validated, it means whatever you have developed, now it have a value, it can use universally everywhere actually. Okay, is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So let's take the attendance now. So anything if you have any doubt,